How you doing this fine Tuesday evening? It's the Thrift Store Rundown's Fork On The Roadshow, tasting the tri-state on a budget. This year, as we did last year, we want to prove that our forks don't always stop at restaurants. When you're dieting, eating out can be tricky. The same applies to when you shop here at the supermarket, like this one, the Stop and Shop here in Clifton, New Jersey. How does one become better informed about making better choices when it comes to better taste or better nutrition? And most important around here, wrap it all up in a better bargain. Well, you're about to find out. A healthy amount of deliciousness and fun is straight ahead. Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. If I could summarize this in two simple words, it would be, of course, stop and shop. The Eat This, Not That 2011 edition was picked up for $2.49, published by Rodale. I'll try my best to summarize this as briefly as I can, but there is a lot to cover in here. If you want a more detail-oriented summary, you should look for the Restaurant Survival Guide reviewing a Chick-fil-A in Teterboro. That link will be downstairs. But to begin with, the top swaps. Swapping out one unhealthy restaurant or supermarket item for another. In this case, with the generationally appealing combination of pizza and ice cream, you can have Domino's ham, mushroom, green pepper, and onion pizza in place of Pizza Hut's Pizza Supreme. And follow that up with Breyer's all-natural vanilla fudge brownie ice cream in place of Ben & Jerry's brownie batter. Now, you can't say that David and Matt aren't funny when it comes to Eat This, Not That. As colorful as the graphics are, so too are some of the articles in here, whether it's mundane, passive, celebrity approach humor, or this, the secret confession of a donut. What's really inside a donut? You'll find out when cops interrogate this donut to the best of their ability, and then do so from the inside out. I wonder the punishment that their appetites and their stomachs will have to perform for that particular crime. Once again, the food court graphic comes in effect here. The caloric crimes you might commit from the inside out, buying unhealthy menu items, and the punishments you'll have to do, the exercises you'll have to perform to burn off those calories. Next up, the bottom 20, they really call it top 20, but it's the bottom 20 worst foods in America. The worst supermarket meal just so happens to be Stouffer's white meat chicken pot pie in a large size. That has the fat equivalent of 10 Reese's peanut butter cups. Yikes. They also give you brief summaries on why each item in here is, of course, nutritionally offensive. As for your favorite restaurants, I'm highlighting TGI Fridays here because that is what's coming up next week. And while I'm not planning on getting the flat iron steak, I'm opting for grilled chicken in this matter. You should really stay away from the California turkey burger. It sounds like the healthy rebuttal of the turkey burger or plain burger and fries, but in reality, if you count the calories, it's not. So out you get sidebars like these, as colorful as they are imperative if you're on a diet, like Attack of the Appetizers. Nutritional stats on a whole bunch of menu items in here. Survival strategies. Secret healthy menu items you can find in here. And as for Eat This, Not That, the main section here. And by the way, these restaurants are presented in alphabetical order. They give you 3 additional picks on the bottom for both sides. I'm actually going to hold off on the supermarket section just a little bit. There are 3 items to highlight in that particular section. That's why we're here today. But I want to take you to each section accordingly to figure out if this book really is timely. Beforehand, let's go ahead and show you the kids section here. And yes, there is a kids section. It tells you about some superfoods with some really powerful nutrients. In addition, Eat This, Not That doesn't just apply to adults. At kids' favorite restaurants, they give you some good healthy options to try, or semi-healthy, really, versus these unhealthy options. For Burger King, eat chicken tenders, not their cheeseburger. And for Dunkin' Donuts, have glazed chocolate cake munchkins, and not a plain bagel. The calories, the saturated fat, and the sodium should also tell some stories. And I like this section a lot. Cook off the pounds. If you want to put this advice to even more palpable use, you can whip up some restaurant-style recipes at home. In comparison to their takeout counterparts, you can make grilled steak tacos, crispy chicken with Dijon caper sauce, chicken skewers, sweet and sour style, pad thai, chicken pizzoli, French toast stuffed with strawberries, seared ahi with ginger scallion sauce, a Mediterranean-style turkey burger, a buffalo chicken and blue cheese sandwich, and seared sirloin steak with red wine mushrooms. In fact, they have a Cook This Not That cookbook, which is definitely Fork on the Roadshow material, and I would love to sell you that if we could find it. But for now, let's go ahead and figure out just how timely this book really is when it comes to the supermarket section. We're going to focus on snacks because I'm feeling rather peckish. Here we are at the chip section of the supermarket and the supermarket section of this book, giving you a list of flavor variations to try on these particular brands and others to avoid. As far as timeliness, well, they're fairly on point with the brands, but as far as the flavors go, we couldn't find anything to match these flavors listed here, either eating these or avoiding these. So yeah, over a decade can do a lot in terms of what flavors are available on the market. So not really strong with this one, but what about the next one? You can't have chips without dip. So these are the particular dips and spreads at the time to eat, once again listed by brand name and flavor variation name. And these are the dips and spreads to avoid. We checked. And these are the dips. They're on the same aisle as the chips. And I know I'm going a little fast for you, but we couldn't find any flavor in that particular section. So maybe you should take this with a grain of salt. Then again, maybe they would advise against doing that. At least too much. Buddy, is this a robot vacuum? How neat and semi-adorable is that? Anyway, we're here in the frozen side snacks and appetizer section, and we looked down on a couple of items, one on each section. When it comes to frozen sides, snacks, and appetizers, you should go for a white potatoes O'Brien with onions and peppers. 60 calories, 0 grams of fat, but 40 milligrams of sodium, the best of the bagged potatoes. Of course, those nutritional stats can change, you know. You should avoid Tyson chicken nuggets. Yeah, on commercials they may seem wholesome, but they're 270 calories, 17 grams of fat, 4 of them saturated, with 470 milligrams of sodium. The thicker breading on Tyson's nuggets soaks up twice as much as all the Applegate Farms nuggets, which are available here on the other side, which you should try. One last section to highlight. What you should try next time you go to the concession stand at the movie theaters, and what to avoid. Snack on some good and plenty licorice candy, Junior Mints, a Kit Kat bar, Swedish Fish, and a nice salt pretzel with mustard. Versus a Hershey's milk chocolate bar, Twizzlers, M&M's, Dots, and I'm sorry as I am to say this, buttered popcorn. I know, that's the hallmark of any good concession stand. But butters are teeming with trans fat. Instead, if your concession stand offers up a spice mix, do that. And if you're planning an in-home movie night, you should go the same route. However, you should get a batch of plain popcorn and make up your own spice blend instead. This is nature's promise. And just for the fun of it, as we officially wrap this thing up, Skinny Girl popcorn, butter and sea salt. I don't know what David and Matt would say about this, but there's something about Skinny Girl that just is kind of reminiscent of Bethany Frankel, one of those real housewives. Creative is Orville Redenbacher. Maybe it's nice to splurge every now and then. Just like the restaurant survival guide, this is a keeper. However, this seemed to be more accurate in the long term if the people stopped focusing on flavor variations that were all the hype of the day and more on the commonplace flavors like regular and spicy or somewhere in between. But they don't do that. They want to spice it up a little bit, and I can't blame them. Accordingly, I will award Eat This Not That, the 2011 edition, 4.5 out of 5 claps. This is fully loaded, but it's to everyone's benefit that this be fully loaded, because at the end of the day, you want to have a life fully lived, and in this case, fully savored. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Lifestyles of the Virtuous and the Viceous. Anyway, stay tuned and stay hungry. It's back to restaurants next week. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.